Hello. So this is basically a demonstration of a React project created by using the framework Vite. So as it can be seen over here, what is Vite? It's actually a French word for quick, which is pronounced as Vite, of course. So a modern build tool that provides faster or fast development. So it's actually, from its counterpart or the previous one, which we used to use, we had NPM create React Act before Vite. So it's basically a more modern and it really is a faster one. And it can be seen if you just create one project with NPM create React app and you create the same project with Vite, you would really see the difference. So it has this, it's optimized for performance and instant hot module replacement. It's HMR, and there's a link about that one. So it's another way of, it's another thing that makes this wheat development real faster, which is HMR, and the reference is given, and you can just always go and look at that. What is that HMR? It's that. So why we use Vite for React? Actually, it's as we have mentioned that it's a faster startup times compared to create React project app. And if you are not convinced, go and create that project after we are done with this. So it's lightweight and efficient. It's very lightweight and efficient, and we can very quickly just start development of React applications by using framework Vite. So for installations, we need first of all Node.js, which is presumed to be installed in most of most of the system. Of course, the students studying web development, and this Node.js is a very important tool, and you can always go on the website and you can just download that one. So I'll just show you that. So you can always say Node.js download and download the latest stable version that is available for the Node.js. And once you are done, installation of Node.js, you are actually ready to go for our installation of or for the creation of the React project. So there are screenshots followed by this one. So the first one is the command that we will use, npm create Vite at latest first app. So again, here I would just like to tell this is one way of creating application which actually asks for the framework that we want to use, the language that we want to use, and ultimately it goes on and creates the project, a scaffolder project. But I would start here with one of the manual installation method. Like again, before even this one, if I just don't want to go into this complete project, which I run these two commands, which is a scaffolding, of course, and I get this project and there's a folder structure that I get, likes of this one. Instead of that, if I just go back here and I start with a manual installation. So I have here my two folders ready. So I'll go to my new terminal here, and in my new terminal, I would see that, for example, I would like to go to this manual folder first of all. This is important for installing because I want to work with this manual folder. So inside this manual folder, what I would do is that I would run a command npm install. It's basically not there on the slides, but I'm just giving this reference or this starting point. So if I say npm installed as a development dependency, and I just say Vite, so it actually does what? It makes a React project, a very quick React project ready in my manual folder. So if I just go here in my manual folder, you'll find that there are multiple things. We'll talk about those multiple things later on. But what I want to do is I'll go in this manual folder again, and I'll create a new file, which should be index.html. And in this index.html, if you want, let's create a complete HTML file. As we do that, let's use the emit abbreviation, and let's say over here, hello Vite. Rather, it should be hello Vite project or hello React. So interestingly, this has actually created a very interesting, project for the Vite. And if I want to run that one now, this manual project, I'll just go here and I'll say npx Vite, that command to run that one. So now if I hit this npx Vite, so you see that now my project is ready and it is hosted at localhost 5173. So if I hit command or control on my computer, my personal computer or Mac, you see that this is a project that is running, and it's very much a manual installation, and we have got a Vite project running. And of course, now we can just continue building upon that one, because index.html is always considered as the central point or the entry point of our application, which is single page application. We know about that one. So Vite treats this one as a source code and a part of, it basically behaves as a part of our project, and this is already. So this was a manual installation, and again, I can just build upon this one. I've got the node modules, very important node modules, and we'll get introduced with node modules, a lot of things as we talked about when you installed Node.js, and this is all those files, necessary libraries required to run our project. But rather than doing this manually, I'll just stop this project by using Command C, Control C, by the way. And then if I want to go, so I want to go to my previous folder, which is React. And if here you see that we had another folder called scaffolding. So I would now go to scaffolding. And inside that, I would like to now use or follow the commands that are there in the installation guide. So if I start with the first command, npm create Vite at latest first application. So I'll just come back over here, just clear the terminal. npm uh, create create. So you see that npm create Vite at latest, right? So let's go back, create Vite at latest, and now I'll call my first project. So I'll call it first app, first React app, by the way. So if I just hit enter and I start installation this, first of all, it will ask me which framework I want to use. So through my keyboard, I'll select React here, of course. And as we are right now not following TypeScript, so we'll just go with the JavaScript, select that one, and we are done. Interestingly, those who have worked with Create React app, they know that the pain of creating that. And one interesting aspect is that in this scaffolding, if you see, we have got multiple project folders. We'll talk about them a little bit, but the most important thing is there is no node modules over here, and that makes it really faster to just to have a project in hand. Now what we'll do is that we'll just come back over here and we'll follow the statements over here. So I've just, it's just mentioned here. We selected JavaScript. We have this prompt ready. And now to run this project, we actually need node modules folder, which is not there, and which is one of the which is one of the part that makes this Vite application development so rapid. So I'll just first of all follow the first step, cd first step. I need to go into my application first of all, and then you see that second command, that is it's still following npm install, and this npm install, those who know, is typically for having our node module. So I'll keep it open, and I'll just do that over here. npm install. See, when I run npm install, it actually runs and creates all the libraries, or used all the libraries in node modules that will do that. This is a little bit time consuming, and just for those who are using React for the first time, um, or maybe they are not that familiar with Git. So Git ignore, a file is automatically created, And if you see here, one of the important thing that node modules is basically mentioned over here. So whatever is mentioned in git ignore, even when we just, we push that on our Git and ultimately to GitHub or GitLab, wherever, we actually do not push this node modules. And how do we get it back? We actually get it back by using npm install. So that's how we just, get back that one. So again, a point of advice here that as you saw that the first time project was created without node module. So if you are sending your project to your professor or somewhere, never include node modules. And as I mentioned, that even it is ignored automatically by our React application. So node modules is not pushed on our GitHub repository. For those who know about GitHub repository, so it's even ignored there. So now node modules is everything is ready now, npm install. And now I will run this npm run dev, and I'll talk about this command as well, why we are running this run dev. So if I say npm run dev, it basically runs our project. And now our project is again hosted on localhost 5170 that we can change later on, most of course. So if I use command and click on this one, we'll see that this is our first React project, which is created with Vite. And again, those, if I mention back, that if someone has used npm create React app, it really takes a good amount of time in just mentioning that one. So last words, so the project is ready, and now this is our application running. And as being mentioned or should be mentioned in the in in our literature, that it's actually index.html which is running for us, and this index.html is basically running main.jsx. So again, this is our single page application that is actually embedding or bringing up the script from the main.jsx. Previously, again, by using npm create React, it was supposed to be index.jsx or JS, but now it's in src folder main.jsx. So actually this HTML file is running. And how do we know? Of course, we can see that this HTML file is running. We see Vite plus React, but where this data is coming from, because there's nothing in our HTML file. So this just have this div ID is equal to root. So what happens is that actually this area, which is provided by React, virtual DOM of React, that should be in the literature. You can just go through that, and it actually accesses this main.jsx file. And this main.jsx, ultimately, this is the ecosystem of the React application. This actually ultimately creates a root element by accessing the root area of index.html. Sorry, this is not the one. We are looking for this one now. So here we have this root area, and this index main.jsx actually accesses that area and renders there our application. What is this app then? This app is imported from the root of app.jsx, like our. So if I just come here, so this is actually app.jsx, which is the main component that is ultimately running. So this is our app component. And just to show you a very quick glimpse of what we have done, if I just come here and if I just mention, of course, this is a component, function-based component. We'll discuss components, of course, over the period of time, and we'll discuss everything which is there. What is use state? Why do we use that? What is this const count and everything? But just wanted to show you over here, just to make it sure that yes, we know what's going on here. So this app component is actually accessed by our main.jsx. And if I just show you on the right side so that both the screens are there. So if I just come here and I just change this last text in my function component, function app. So I just come here and I say, this is first React project created with Vite, or let's write Vite. So if I hit Control S, save, you can see that actually this is changed over here. And of course, ultimately, we can just make a change in all the code. There are two logos appearing, Vite and React, and so on and so forth. So there are So there are much details of that one, and of course during the period of time, we'll just talk about that. So just to end my discussion here, I would just say that these are very important areas. So just a very quick ecosystem. Index.html is the single page application SPA that we run. This SPA is actually accessed by main.jsx, and it accesses the root ID of this one and renders app. We'll talk about this strict mode as well. App component, and this app component is this app.jsx, which ultimately becomes the real entry point, because that app component is actually running. So I'll just go back very quickly the slides, and I would like to show you this folder structure. So node module is very important, but it will come, of course, when we'll do npm install public src app.jsx main. These are the main important file. Then we have git ignore, then this package.json. So again, just to just to make it sure that package.json is that main important file that actually keeps track of all those things. And I was telling you how did we run npm run dev. So actually we were running this script which runs actually Vite. So we actually run Vite, as if you remember in our manual file we ran Vite for that one. So that same ways we just run it over here. So this is very much it. And in the rest of the literature, we'll just talk about the other things. And of course, there are lots of details that we'll talk about. We'll just try to create a lot of components over here. This app.jsx is the first and the most important component that actually runs when our application runs. And of course, you can just right away take everything from this one, like from this div, just to mention you. For example, from that one, you just take everything away from here, and we have got. So just let's take that one as well away, and I take even this everything away again, just for the purpose. I don't want to show you. And I'll just, if I hit save and if I show you the project running, of course, everything is gone because I have deleted everything from there. So this is just the introduction. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll be happy to help you out if you need anything from me. Thank you.